Hello, hello. Feeling like a weary entrepreneur, but still determined to chase those dreams? If so, then you're in the right place. I'm Navin Kumar Selvaraj, and for over 2 decades, I've been in the trenches leading businesses globally. From reviving old power plants to executing complex M&A deals, my journey has been a constant cycle of unlearning and learning, filled with both exhilarating wins and tough lessons learned far outside any boardroom. On this show, The Entrepreneur's Anchor, grounding your spirit in business chaos, we explore the raw reality of building your dreams, the struggles, the chaos, and the relentless drive. But more importantly, we discover how spirituality isn't just a philosophy, but your essential anchor, keeping you grounded and guided through every storm. Welcome to episode 5, The Art of Detachment, Releasing Control and Gaining Peace. As entrepreneurs, we are wired to be in control. We are strategists, decision makers, the ones who steer the ship, and many such metaphors that you can come up with. You see, this drive for control is often what fuels our success, but paradoxically, it can also become our greatest cage. We cling to plans, to outcomes, to the very idea that we must orchestrate every single detail for things to work out. This tight grip often stems from a combination of factors, such as our ego, to begin with, the feeling that, oh, we have to live up to our decisions, and perhaps a bigger one, which is the fear of loss of reputation. Yep, we have all faced it, the humiliation, the threats, the disappointment, the sadness that comes when things don't go according to our so called precise plan. See, all this deep seated fear can make releasing control feel like, stepping off a cliff, for example. But what if letting go was the very act that brought you peace and surprisingly even greater success? Yep. For me, the struggle with letting go wasn't a one time event. It was, in fact, a recurring pattern, especially around challenging times, like COVID, for example. I would find myself stuck, unable to cut ties with bad financial decisions, and convinced that I just needed to stick with them longer and eventually putting good money after bad. This wasn't limited just to finances. It also happened with choosing ineffective vendors or service providers or making impulsive investment decisions. And here's a crucial context. At that very moment, I'm still talking about COVID, we literally had projects running simultaneously in Central America, Africa, the Middle East, and Asia Pacific. We were literally earning round the clock. So you see, these mistakes weren't born out of desperation, during lean times. They were choices made even when the business was thriving. The narrative in my head was often, I have committed to this, I must make it work. Or, what will people think if I admit this was a mistake? I have faced humiliation, threats, disappointment, sadness, as I mentioned, every possible negative emotion. But here's the profound shift. The moment I finally let go, often after already suffering deep financial losses, I realized something critical. It didn't affect my livelihood or existence after all. I survived. My business survived, and both of us learned to adapt and evolve from the experience. That feeling of relief of the weightlifting was immediate. The long term impact was invaluable lessons learned and the agility to pivot without the crushing burden of a past mistake. This brings us to the essence of detachment. There's a joke I once read that said, the best entertainment God has is to listen to your plan and have a good laugh. It's a humorous reminder of a profound truth. Not everything can be controlled. You can control your direction, of course. You can control your actions. But the outcome, you cannot, especially when it depends on a multitude of variables outside your sphere. For me, cultivating this art of detachment is deeply spiritual. I have a desired goal, a clear vision, and I submit it to the universe and to God. I then do the work, my absolute best work, with love and dedication. When a curveball hits, as they always do, I take the hit, pause, consciously detach myself from the immediate emotional reaction, do a reset, and then continue after making necessary modifications. This practice has given me two powerful realizations. Number one, every problem has a solution. When you detach, you create space to see it. Number two, the importance of learning not to react but to act. Reaction is emotional and often hinders clarity. Action, on the other hand, after a moment of detachment and reset, is strategic and powerful. Your spiritual anchor provides the wisdom and the calm to know what you can control, like your effort, your attitude, your intentions, etc., and what you cannot, like the multitude of external variables and the ultimate outcome. It's in this surrender that true peace is found, allowing you to move with flow instead of force. So, how do we apply this art of detachment in the daily grind of entrepreneurship? Here are some actionable strategies that you can consider. Number one, delegate what isn't core. If a task or a whole area of your business is not your core competency and someone else can do it better, 200% go ahead and delegate it. One of my mentors, who unfortunately is no longer with us, taught me the importance of properly segregating, delegating, collecting, and collating every task. In this day and age of Slack, AI, and countless other tools, it's much easier than you think. Just don't harp on the fact that I must do it. Your role as an entrepreneur is to leverage talent, not to bottleneck every process. The second one is to embrace silence to act, not react. This is a practice I advocate consistently. When you're hit with bad news or a challenging situation, pause. Sit in silence. Take a few deep breaths. Give yourself a few moments of, or maybe minutes of absolute quiet. Only then, once you have detached from the initial emotional shock, should you plan your action. This intentional pause prevents impulsive, fear driven reactions and allows your spiritual compass to guide a more considered, effective response. Right? So, for this week, I challenge you to identify one area in your business or your life where you're currently holding on to control too tightly. Perhaps could be a project, a client outcome, or even a personal interaction for that matter. Consciously choose to release your grip on the outcome of that situation. Do your best work, apply your wisdom, but then, for that one thing, practice submitting it to the universe. Take a moment of silence when you feel the urge to control. Remind yourself, I control my actions, I trust the flow of the outcome. Observe the peace that comes from this release, and perhaps the unexpected positive developments as well. Right? So, that's it for today. Thank you for joining me on the episode of The Entrepreneur's Anchor. As always, if today's conversation on detachment resonated with you, please subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening. And remember, new episodes every Tuesday. Your support helps us share these vital lessons with more entrepreneurs seeking their anchor. Also, be sure to save or favorite any episode that truly resonated with you so you can go back and listen again whenever you need that anchor. And if you know someone who may benefit from this podcast, please do share it with them. Next week, we'll dive into mind over matter, conquering imposter syndrome and self-doubt, exploring how to transform inner critics into your allies. You don't want to miss it. Until then, stay grounded, keep building with purpose, and remember, your spirituality is your greatest asset in this incredible journey. See you next time.